All right, so we've got this new moon in Libra, 28 degrees of Libra, that is officially happening on Tuesday this week. And I'm going to jump into what it means for the collective as well as what it means for all 12 signs. So stay tuned for your sun, your rising sign. I tend to say shy away from the moon sign. It's a little too subconscious, but check it out. 28 degrees. So first things first. This is mastery level. When you have full moons, new moons, transits happening at the higher degrees. The higher the degree, the more the potency of the energy. So what is Libra? What are the basics, right? It's weighing out the evidence in your life to make decisions. Now, yes, it very much deals with relationships, but we're constantly communicating back and forth, sort of weighing things out, making decisions in our relationships. But you could say that this new moon is also one where we're learning very much how do we want to relate to ourselves going forward, especially at the subconscious level. This new moon is making a quincunx over to that Saturn retrograde over in Pisces, and also a square to Jupiter in Cancer. So there's a lot here. First and foremost, let's just dig fucking deep. This is ancestral karma 101, right? This is looking into the emotions, because with it being 28 degrees, we need to be able to feel our emotions in addition to our thinking to make decisions in our life. Everything on the outside, the relationships, any decision in life, but also the person that we're becoming. But that 8 is also about decisions. It's a Saturn ruled degree. Now, because it's Jupiter in Cancer that is the square, because it is the quincunx to that Saturn retrograde in Pisces, part of the emotional, you could say, turmoil undercurrent of these things is making sure that you're not coming from a subconscious programmed place that could come from any aspect in the universe, but it's very much rooted in the roots of the family tree. So in some ways that you could say that it's like sort of balancing a little bit of the human journey and the spiritual journey, making sure that we're coming from a very clear headspace, that the decisions that we're making going forward isn't taking us down into old patterns that could even be delusions that are influenced by subconscious programming that actually comes from the roots of the family tree. This is looking at what is going on with your relationship with mom and dad. Start with the core family unit growing up. Sometimes I feel like people hold their breath when I bring this stuff up, but how you grew up, your inner child, your family of origin, this stuff very much matters. We play out a lot of karma those first 28, 30 years of life before the Saturn return. So Saturn being at the end of Pisces is that reminder that when you're making these decisions, make sure that you're not in la la land, that you're not just carrying out some old weird family-based program or emotional reactivity. I'm going to spotlight the no kings stuff, and apparently a lot of it was peaceful, and that's all great, but it really got me thinking, is that really just an avenue for people to go and dump their emotions because of their triggers that they have with mommy and daddy issues? Screaming in at authority, a politician, the government, authority. Who is the original authority growing up? Mom and dad, or the caregivers, whoever was the caregiver in your life. So take heed, take caution with the decisions that you're making going forward, because this isn't about being like wishy-washy. This is self-mastery level. This is where, you know, especially the fertility that is Cancer reminds me of like a pregnancy, where it's like, okay, the baby's getting big. We have to induce, or we have to do the C-section. We got to get this stuff going. We can't just be passive and let life just kind of flow by and just stare at the sunsets and not really make decisions that actually advance life going forward. Now, it's kind of weird because it's like this review karmically of looking at all of it. This could be, past lives too, connected to it, all the karma. But again, I'd say especially through the DNA of the family of origin. And that we have to look at this stuff in order to kind of like clean ourselves out so that our thinking is balanced when we're making decisions. If you're not emotionally developing the emotional intelligence and clearing, cleansing, being with the emotions to become inspired, and then acting and deciding on that inspiration of this person that you're wanting to become more of, how you want to show up, communicate in your relationships, show up in life, that's where you're not really moving forward. So the irony is with the South Node in Virgo, it's not about checking the boxes or carrying out the day-to-day activities that's actually going to make a difference. That's like the slow horizontal movement, but it's like playing out the old rhythm of a reality that's very much changing. We've got to kind of pay it forward and make sure that we're really rooting into the highly intuitive, divine, spiritual being that we are, while still honoring the evidence coming up of the human journey that's showing us where we're not in full alignment and walking in alignment with that path. I had a lot of people coming to me for readings yesterday asking me, are they aligned with their path? And it's like, it depends. Some people it was yes, some people it was no, and here's some adjustments. But even for the people that's yes, it's also like, here's how you can improve the quality of the experience on that spiritual journey. Libra's Venus ruled. Where is Venus? She's in Libra, right? So it's like, we have to be in the embodiment of the values, the gifts, the skill sets, our creations, right? Knowing what is the subconscious motivation. Is the creation coming from a place of just trying to like prove something still? Proving worth, proving productivity, South Node in Virgo. And so the nice thing is that the flashes of insight will come up. The question is, are we going to be allowing ourselves to have the time to meditate, get into stillness, be present, and actually see how the balance and peace can come in before the decisions and the inspiration that comes in to move forward, by paying attention to the undercurrent of what can feel kind of like wonky and just like, I don't know, this is a lot of emotion, this is a lot of overwhelm. And even if it doesn't show itself as emotion at first, it's like, lean into it. Be the warrior that does this like shadow work aspect. I know there's a lot of people I've seen kind of saying like they're done with their shadow work, or they're this, that, or the other thing. I don't really know how we can say that we're fully complete with the circuit when it's an understanding that we're still ending a very long 400 plus year cycle of how we constructed the basis of how we do things as a human race, how we plan, execute, all the above. So unless there's like the actual evidence to showcase that living authentically in flow of what it's like to live beyond this paradigm, we're still doing the work. And how can we have that evidence, and how can we flow in it if we're still kind of bound by the realities of still being in the cycle? So this is about doing the work. This is about doing the shadow work. This is about doing the spiritual work. This is about feeling as deep as we can go, reflecting, not from an over analytical place. You got to get out of the mind, get into the body, get into the emotional body of things. Now, more advanced, this brings up those outer energetic bound bodies, like the astral body. We got to make sure that we're not fucking around with the old subconscious patterns that we know are low vibe, right? Those patterns, those vices, it contaminates the astral body. We have to be okay with the patience sometimes of being in the void before the next wave of emotion, the next wave of true innate desire of response of what it is that we're wanting to do, and make sure that it's not impulse. We'll talk about how Mercury and Mars are both conjunct in Scorpio, and so I mentioned this in Celestial Conversations, a weekly horoscope I do on Wednesdays for the whole week ahead from Wednesday to Tuesday, where it's like impulse, gotta have it, not even like really thinking clearly. I saw one astrologer that was like, You know, like it could be desire, you know, bond, relationship. It's so generic, cookie cutter. Like what I've been seeing is like if you focus your mind on a block that you want to penetrate and get over, that's actually more self-destructive for the future that we're meant to evolve into, and make a deeper decision on owning your power, that's where it's at. And it can literally even feel like it's coming from the genital region, that Scorpio sacral area of like, you know, this is who I'm aligning with. This is how I'm aligning in what area of life. So speaking of areas of life, I will talk about all 12 signs. Of course, if you want to get a personal astrology reading, hit me up for those links, or they might be around these videos. And when it comes to the deeper things like shadow work or family of origin work, past life work, all this, I do this stuff in hypnosis with people, like Dolores Cannon style. I do rebirthing breath work with people to get deep into the things that are ready to come up. I have tools like for all these things that I'm talking about too. So if you need someone that walks between those three planes in the shamanic realm, I'm here to help you out with that as well. So, surprise, I'm going to roast the signs just a little bit before I get into what to align with. Aries. You simpleton motherfuckers, you. I mean, out of all 12 zodiac signs, maybe besides Taurus, you definitely tend to be the most simple-minded, dumbest version of the bunch, but that's good because sometimes taking action, asking questions later is a good thing. Now, here's the thing. This new moon in Libra, it's in your 7th house, so you have to kind of think and weigh out what it is that you're doing, what you're about to communicate, especially in your relationships. Right? I'm not an Aries, but maybe I should be weighing out whether I should be roasting you or not, or the other signs. But, you know, I'm not an Aries. You are. You're can be pretty quick to act. I know Neptune has been in your sign, and so that can kind of slow things down a little bit. But this is really where you got to like weigh things out and feel into the decisions that you're making around how you want to communicate that renewal in those departments, the renewal in your relationships. Think like renewing soul contracts. Who do you want to be across the table from you? Making sure that you understand what's going on in your subconscious and what you're feeling, and not bypassing those things, as well as making sure that the family is being taken care of, and they're especially being diplomatic in how you're communicating with those family situations. If you want any help, Aries, you want to go deeper, hit me up for an astrology reading or hypnosis session. Now, moving on to Taurus. You lazy bulls, you lazy cows, you. Get up off the couch, get up and dance. Taurus, you need to be looking at the alignments in your day-to-day rhythm. It's been a little off, but that's okay, because it's off because it's been the release of what is not in rhythm for you. So this is about aligning with systems that feel more aesthetically pleasing. This is about the quality of life experience in the present moment for you, and also making sure that you're not like reclusing from society and people, that you know how to like connect, you know how to go out in the world and be spiritual. Now, if your health is holding you back, or it's like an energy thing, you know, and it's not actual laziness, or maybe it is that too, remember your self-worth. Your health is based upon, do you know your worth? Like it's not about your productivity of what that you're doing that gets you unbalanced. It's more about, are you doing the right quality things that are actually in alignment with your true worth? Like reach higher for like the golden fruit with these things, and just make sure that you're communicating in what can seem a little bit passive, but it's important to make sure that you're communicating from this place that is taking into consideration that everybody has like a different background. Not everyone's going to resonate with your message. That's why you got to know that you got the goods and own your worth, that you're not here to please everyone in the world. It's more about the people that you magnetize and gravitate towards. Think your community, you know, like brothers, sisters, like the people that vibe with you. You're not here to prove people that you're worthy. You're here to showcase your value, and like let the people that are not just like people passing by the window shopping, being like, that dress is ugly or that suit's ugly, that actually want to come into the store and like check it out and try it on and be like, how much is it? And, you know, like, what does it do for me? You know, and answer those questions and talk to those people. If you want to go deeper than that, Taurus, hit me up for a link for an astrology reading or hypnosis session to go deeper. So, Gemini, you two-faced motherfuckers, you. Yeah. You Harvey Dent, you. This is love situations for you all. Keep it simple. Like, align with what the heart is wanting during this time. I know you're more of the analytical variety and kind of like flipping the coin, maybe a little bit two-faced style about things, and you're going through some stuff. Who isn't? But this is about the deeper alignments with what makes your heart beat a little bit faster, what gets you into that high heart and gives you that inspiration of your creative divine spark. Now, it might be hard to try to like blend it with your career, your goals, your ambitions. So maybe consider like the playtime, the creative time as sort of a heart rejuvenation to make sure that you've got the vitality for your longer term goals that you're committed to, and also be okay with like receiving for the work that you've already done. Like, out of all signs, I think you get to play a little bit more, and actually that kind of like more eccentric vibe attracts good things in the universe. And then you're still here to create. You need to be creating, but it's more about your long term. It's okay to go slow with it. Quality projects, existing, new, old, innovative, it doesn't matter, but you got to feel good about it. Your body's got to feel good. Your heart's got to feel good. You got to know how to feel into what would you do if like you could reset the slate and you got the second whack at inner childhood and you didn't have to like, you know, figure out all these like implications that maybe influenced your goals or influenced who you are. Acknowledge that somehow that influenced you and your background, your education, you know, whatever it is. But then who would you be and what would you do if you could wipe the slate clean and just do the things that you loved, not the things that you thought that you had to do or proving? If you want to go deeper than that, Gemini, hit me up for astrology reading. I'll send you a link, or for a hypnosis session. Now, when it comes to Cancers, Cancer, this is definitely about your foundation, your home life, aligning with the rhythms that feel quality, that feel rejuvenating, filling your cup. It can feel a little bit weird because maybe it can feel like it's not enough, or the cup's got a little bit of a leak in it. My main advice to you would be, don't be going on some like crazy search, spiritual walkabout for the fulfillment, or trying to be the guru or the teacher to people. Like, get your own foundation and basis kind of figured out in your own like personal world, because it's, you know, that Jupiter that's making a square to this new moon in Libra, it's really about how you understand your functionality of what you're doing more in your personal life, and are you expanding and feeling good in that area. That's where the expansion is at. It's not going to be so much in like the socialization or like trying to prove anything there. You want to be able to show up in a different vibe that people kind of notice, and it's all really based upon how well you're taking care of yourself. And it doesn't have to look a certain way. It's a little on the playful side, but it's more so kind of just like paying attention to your intuitive messages in the moment and meeting that need, and don't let it just, you know, fritter away and put it off because you feel like you've got this big homework load or all these things that you want to expand on and do. There's no rush. Like, slow down, take care of you. That's you getting into rhythm and alignment. If you want to go deeper than that, want to book an astrology reading, hit me up for that link. Or you're a good candidate for a hypnosis session too, if you just need some peace and rejuvenation. Now, when it comes to Leos, I forgot to roast Cancers. Fuck. Cancer, stop being a whiny bitch. Okay, Leos. Leos, you drama kings and queens, you. Let's talk about your rhythms that are dealing with your mind. I think you're okay there. You just got to make sure that you're not being like two-faced, wishy-washy with your communication. And this can get into the drama piece a little bit, if I'm going to poke the bear a little bit, where it's kind of like, be diplomatic. Like, try not to be too one-sided. Like, listen to what other people are saying to you, and don't just be like, I'm a Leo, I don't have to fucking listen. You know, like, get the feedback. Like, do yourself a favor in that department, Leo, because I don't think you want to double down on like some power trip with people right now that's like deep subconscious, that's not wanting to like let other people in for you to communicate with and get along and get more harmony and like rhythm with them. God's watching. Yeah, he's paying attention. He's going to find out who's been naughty or nice. Jupiter in your 12th in Cancer. So like pay attention to like, are you being like the wild, awesome spiritual being, Leo, that you are by spreading love vibrations? And then when you get feedback, you're going to have to like be discerning and be intuitive and be wizard alchemical like to actually pay attention to the subtle acoustic rhythms of what people are saying, and don't just brush it off to the side and be all surface level with it, because they might actually have some good things to say and good feedback for you to actually sit with and reflect on that can improve the quality of you as a Leo, not to dim your shine like you think that maybe people sometimes are trying to do. It's more so about how do you like actually upgrade your shine by trusting that people are here to like, it could seem being adversarial, but it's in like kind of a crazy way to like help you, you know, find out the loving being that you are, to be more high vibrational, to be more spiritual, to see where you can kind of like upgrade in that way, not from a people pleasing standpoint, but from a way of just like trusting everything that's showing up on your immediate path, even if it feels negative from people. It's actually there to be alchemized and to benefit you, and not making them the enemy, but seeing them as more neutral, and that it's good. It's not good, it's not bad. It's like, it's neutral good in the sense of if you can see everything is just energy, and then it's just all there for your alchemization. So if you want to go deeper than that, Leo, hit me up for a link for astrology reading or hypnosis session. Virgo, you dunce cap, OCD, over analytical person. You might feel a little dumb right now. It's South Node in your sign, but you're not dumb. You're doing fine. You just gotta trust that this is the big release part of life for you. Now, this new moon in Libra, it's in your second house, so you need to be busy creating your highest quality shit, and you cannot have any excuses right now around why you can't do that. Time, schedule, don't have the energy, blah, blah, blah. If it's not really fully in alignment with your value systems and you're not creating your best stuff, might be being a little lazy. So pay attention to that front. Now, this is also looking at that Saturn retrograde in Pisces, or that quincunx is happening. That new moon is in your 7th house in Pisces. So there's some messiness, there's some mop-up duty coming with your relationships. But I think, you know, you don't want to worry about that too much, because it's like cleaning up a mess where another mess is coming, where Neptune's going to join it soon. So it's kind of like, it's okay to put things on pause in communication and relationship stuff that doesn't have like an immediate solution. Let the solution more present itself, and who knows, some people might even drift and fall away in your relationships and circle because you're busy vibing up, creating your best, most, you know, awesome stuff. You don't need to fit in to the world. Like there's a sector carved out for you, but it's like kind of like wildly undefined, because it's more waiting for your vibration of your creations and the people that want those creations and value them. And maybe there's like a monetary exchange, so it's like good to focus on the highest quality of service that you can provide and be business minded like that, and not trying to struggle, you know, with being friends with everyone or maintaining your relationships. Like, this is a big relationship transit for you, but you can't put the relationships first. You have to put your quality of your value of your creations and those talents and abilities to kind of like show you vibrationally who you're meant to like more connect with, and then be of service and like honor and like really help those people. So if you want to go deeper than that, Virgo, hit me up for a link for personal astrology reading, or if you want to go into some cool shit like a hypnosis session, that's available as well. Now, when it comes to Libras, this is the new moon in your sign, so this is your personal renewal. You wishy-washy, undecisive motherfuckers, you need to be deciding who are you becoming. You need to be looking at, don't worry, like if you're spending way too much time like making decisions around your health, your routine, your work, you're kind of fucking up because you're putting the cart way before the horse, where you're the horse. It's taking care of your identity first, and then like let the boldness and the alignment of that define what you're doing in your life, how you're communicating, your systems, everything you're trying to like get all balanced out like in that area to make things like work better. This is very much also a challenge to your career of how you show up and having the energy to do that. So if you're feeling like you don't have that oomph every day to like meet your goals, start with being empathic and compassionate to yourself and to others, but know that like if it feels like you're having to like reach for empathy, or that well is dry, come into more alignment and pour more into yourself and take care of you, and make sure you're, you know, the horse, the Shetland fucking pony is like strong, you know, strong-willed and well-fed and vital, mind, body, spirit. And then it kind of becomes more second nature how you show up in career and the empathy to others. So I'm not too worried about you, Libra. I think you only shit the bed if you just don't put yourself first, which is kind of weird because, you know, you're Libra, you're very relationship oriented, but this is about the relationship with yourself first. If you want to go deeper than that, Libra, hit me up for a link for an astrology reading or for a hypnosis session. Scorpio, I don't even want to roast you, Scorpio, because you're fucking dark as fuck. You know where you're fucking up. Do I even need to really roast you? Like, if anything, I'll give you the positive, you dark motherfucker. Throw that out there again. That destructive habits, stuff that you're doing, like the destructive energy of Scorpio is meant to end things that are not true to you, so that you can have the phoenix rising and rise into your passion. So don't just be, you know, hiding secrets and destructive just for the sake of it. You're meant to destruct things that aren't true to you to get to what you're really passionate about. Now, this is the new moon to get right with the divine in Libra, where it's kind of like, okay, like pay attention, like when God speaks, when your intuition speaks, don't be running from that. If you're running from that, that's you doubling down on a subconscious pattern that you have to get out of. Like, you're the one that I'm concerned about the most, because you could like try to whitewash what's in alignment and just kind of do whatever you want. And it's important with that Mars and Mercury in your sign that you're being fucking potent, but you're being potent on behalf of the divine, of like what your intuition is leading you towards, to really, which is a better life, you know, a better lifestyle. Now, this is about your beliefs about where you're expanding and where God's asking you to expand, to actually get the abundance that you're wanting. So your intuition's trying to tell you how to pull out of the doldrums of like the things that are happening. And it is about love and self-love and passion and romance and the creativity that comes from that. You're being served up something really beautiful this new moon, this next 28 days, to pull you out of any ruts that you're in. But you gotta like act and decide pretty quickly when the intuition hits, to like do the whole death by 1,000 paper cuts thing, to end what's not working, to get to where you want to go, to be a better fucking attractor, to actually chase down the beautiful reality that you want, that's like extremely abundant, and the home life and the feels and the romance, the passion, the connection, but also like with yourself in your own Scorpio way that no one can tell you what that is. We're really not here to judge you, Scorpio. Like truly, I know I'm roasting the signs at the beginning, but I'm not. It's more here to like push you to become the better version of yourself that's authentic to you, by like not doubling down on just like the weird shit and hiding stuff. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy of like what people would say are the worst traits of Scorpio. It's like kind of weird, but you don't really believe it, but then you're like doing it anyway, and you're like proving your enemies wrong. It's kind of weird. So if you want to go deeper than that, Scorpio, hit me up for a link for an astrology reading, hypnosis session, or any other cool magical stuff. Now, when it comes to Sagittarius, Sag, this is your friendships, your groups, your community. You get a renewal in this department. Not too worried about you. I think you get to kind of fly in these areas and really go out and connect with people and be around sociable energy. Like, the only like misalignment is just like hanging out with people too long. Make sure you pay attention to just your personal rhythms of when to connect and disconnect, and when you need to call it a night or call it a day around people, and you need to go chill out at home and take good care of yourself. But then also this is looking at making sure that you're not connecting with people from like, I'll just say it, like some weird like sexual exciting thing too, you know, like even if it's in secret and just your own mind and like, ooh, like they're fucking sexy, because that's the thing that's gonna like keep you around like the wrong people. You need to be like doing this from more of a alchemical, deep spiritual place, making sure that you're not playing out some weird ancestral stuff around who you're hanging around, or trying to like make up a story that you're somehow the storyteller or the guru and that's why that group needs you. It's like you got to pay attention to what you need to end, especially around the cycles of hanging out with people, durations of time periods of letting the energy define that, because you got to be taking care of yourself too. You need your home life, you need your family. It can't just be all sociable, friends, groups, community, hanging out in the world, especially if it's like for some like wrong, shady reasons that you're trying to say are positive, but they're actually not. So if you want to go deeper than that, Sag, hit me up for a link for an astrology reading or a hypnosis session or other cool magical stuff. Now, when it comes to Capricorn, you dick, you asshole, you hard-nosed motherfuckers, you, oh, I forgot to roast Sag. Well, yeah, you think you know it all. Sag, you think you know it all. Fucking know it all. Okay, Capricorn, it's moving on. Capricorn, this is career for you. This is alignment for you. This is about showing up in the true sense of what you're meant to be. Your career, your legacy, how you show up. Is that really truly in alignment? It's one thing to talk a big game and to imagine yourself of, you know, being some awesome thing, but you got to be able to actually like communicate it like in a way where the story is actually like making an impact on people, where it's reaching them. I would call this the storytelling transit of you in your career. Learn how to tell a good story, Capricorn. That's what's going to like get the business deals done. You got to be able to tell your stories to people. If they're not listening, then maybe you need to like be more vulnerable or more empathetic on like kind of like getting them to kind of like listen to it, not from a sob story place like victimhood, but more so just like, you know, it's inspiration. Be the inspirational lead, Capricorn. Inspire people. Now, when it comes to, if you want to go deeper than that, Capricorn, if you want to get a personal astrology reading or a hypnosis session, hit me up for that link. Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, this is important for you. It's hard to kind of roast you because there's a part of you that understands the weird shit going on Earth, but then there's a little bit of hypocrisy because you're still a human. You still, you know, bleed like the rest of us. You still have a human side. So my roast to you is more just like, you know, you're good at rising above it, but remember you're still part of it too. Like if you think there's a problem, where are you a part of the problem? Because that's what you're seeing. If you see that there's a solution, where can you be the solution? Now, this is about you paying very much attention to your beliefs, the stories that you're telling yourself around what's going on in the world, around what's going on in your relationships and people. It needs to be like more positive, and you need to like look at where you can be creating like a compelling sort of like story and like building something that is like more expressive and communicative, that gets you to a space where you have more of a better system of how you're communicating. This is a hard one because you're gonna have to have like your almost like shamanic three phases: the underworld, the world that we're in, and the underworld, where it's like when you're feeling good, this is your system of how you express the story in life of how it's going, and paying attention to like, what is that story and how do you feel? Do you feel valuable when you feel that way? Okay, how do you bring more of that into your life? Now, when it comes to your like the middle ground stuff of like what you're creating, okay, cool, just be neutral with it, get it done, be abundant, be creative, be enjoy the value, get the work done. There doesn't really need to be an over analysis of it. Now, when you're feeling like shit, what was that thing that happened 1 or 2 hours, not too long before that dip happened? And that's the thing that you need to be disconnecting and staying away from. It's the old you, it's not you, it's not part of your story. The next experience, the life that you're meant to lead or go into, it's not creating anything, it's staying more in a cyclical pattern. So if you want to go deeper than that, Aquarius, hit me up for a link for an astrology reading or a hypnosis session or other magical stuff. Pisces, boo-hoo Pisces, cry me a river. So when it comes to this Libra new moon, this is in your, I'm having a brain fart here, Pisces. Are you having brain farts out there? Am I picking up on you? I don't want to project, but this is you looking at where are you getting sort of like lost in needing to go into like a Phoenix rising moment, but like there's something misaligned. It's like you got to be able to pull your magic up. You got to be able to like really start the engine every day and do the things that are in alignment for you to get you started, to get you to go into the space where you're actually meant to go into. Because if you're missing the mark on that rhythm and you're not really sure how to initiate and get your energy started and get yourself moving and get into that sort of flow thing, you're kind of like dead in the water. That's your biggest thing, is like you got to have like your routine, your rhythm, like your activities that are like the big movers and shakers in terms of like the bigger blocks of time that are going to get things like going like in reality for you. And then when it comes to that Jupiter, like that is happening in your 5th house, so it's like there is like a kind of like romantic, beautiful, dreamy part of it, but just make sure that you understand the ancestral karma stuff of how you deal with love situations and your family of origin, and just that the story that you're telling yourself is one that's like more proclaimed to be true in the sense of like what it is that you could like really be doing in life, because there's absolutely opportunities for you to be really creative, to be basically just fucking full-blown awesome sauce. But it is like having to pay attention to where you're getting like down into the gutter and people aren't like seeing it, and you're tanking and you're getting out of alignment like with your value systems. And so remember, you're the product, Pisces, of what it is that you're doing when no one is looking. Like that's a part of it. It's not just like how you want to show up or how you like want to glow when you're feeling your best. It's a combination, it's a mathematical formula of the vibrations throughout your entire day. So I work on that. If you want to go deeper than that, Pisces, hit me up for an astrology link for a reading or hypnosis session. See you on the next report.